Hi, Ramy. So we're going to start with the tarot portion and then I'll end with the shadow work session. So basically a little background on how this all works is I'm going to use multiple decks for your reading. You've seen me work in the live, so you know kind of how I work, but I kind of like to give everybody a little bit of insight as to what's going on. So your only real question was the blockage using your third eye. So we're going to focus the reading on where the blockages are and kind of what's causing that so that we can figure out how to unblock your third eye. Very important that meditation is something that you start to use, or prayer. Those two things I know for sure will help unblock any sort of energetic blockages within your chakras. Meditation is super important, and relaxation in order for your third eye to be opened. So one of the things I like to use is a lot of deep breathing exercises. So those are super simple. You just want to be in a relaxed state, be comfortable, and then start by taking deep breaths in through your nose and hold them for about 4 seconds, and then exhale them through your mouth. And you want to do a minimum of 3. So more is obviously better, but a minimum of 3. What that does is that allows the energy that's maybe stuck or stagnant in our chakras or our energy points to be able to be replaced with fresh energy. So think of like when you take a deep breath, all of a sudden you get new energy or new air going into your body. So you're getting new energy as you take the deep breaths. So that's going to be important for opening up any of your chakras, no matter which ones could have problems. And then meditation, like I said, could be really important, that you want to make sure that you're taking some time out of every day, even if it's as simple as like 5 minutes or less. And take some time, do some deep breathing exercises, salt baths. You know, you live near an ocean, so if you're able to go visit the beach or walk barefoot in the sand or on the grass or put your feet in the ocean water at all, that's going to help to kind of change the energy within your body as well. So those are some things that have also helped me to be able to open mine, and that kind of helps me be able to do readings for people. So those are some things that I would try. And then there's music that you can find on YouTube, specific meditations that it's basically just music, and it's not usually interrupted with a bunch of ads, which can be a problem if you're meditating. And so find the ones, just type it into the search bar, meditation for third eye or third eye chakra meditation, things like that. Or if you want to do other meditations for different chakra points, there's healing frequencies. Sound frequency is really a good one to kind of help clear the energy as well. So those are what I would suggest that you try and start doing, and do it on a regular basis. You know, spend a good 5 minutes every single day, and when you feel like 5 minutes is easy, move a little bit further, do like maybe 10 minutes. And get to the point where you start to actually feel the energy has changed and transformed, and you will start to notice a huge difference in like how you sleep, how you think, how you feel, and the energy vampires won't be able to kind of sabotage you or feel like you're being so drained all the time. So those are some things that I would recommend. So we're going to start with the tarot portion. We're going to see just kind of generally what's going on, what we need to know. So it looks like you're looking for some more stability, and it could be that maybe you're looking for like a long-term commitment with somebody, or there's some sort of celebration or gathering with others. Could be that you're even attending a wedding, if you're single or whatever and you're not to that point in life. It could be that you're attending a celebration of somebody else's as well, but some stability. It's also a card of twin flames. So the number 1111, you might be seeing that a lot in your life. Could be like you glance at the clock and it's like, that's 1111. So that's symbolic, and the symbols of 1111 translate to soulmates and twin flame energy. So whether you're with somebody, whether you're not with somebody, the energy is still there. So it's something that you could definitely be seeing. And there might be some sort of love offer that you are wanting to make, or that somebody's going to make towards you. It's something that leaves you full of emotions, like your cup is overflowing with love and happiness, and you're completing some sort of cycle. Travel is also possible with the world, and it's something where you're triumphing over issues that you've been dealing with. So you're completing something. It's like things come full circle in your life. So we're closing out the old chapters in our life, and we're starting something fresh. or beginning a new journey. So really important. Money struggles could definitely be at the forefront of your mind right now. So feeling like maybe you're in a lack mentality or you're worried about financial issues. And I mean, that's across the board for most of us right now, that money's very tight for everybody. But it could signal things like isolation because of lack of funds. You could have needed to block somebody, or maybe you have blocked somebody, like either energetically or online in your phone, things like that. Or you're working through a period of recovery from injury, illness, or surgeries. So you need to give yourself the time to rest and recover. And it's also something that you want to try, and if you're overspending on things, you want to try and kind of eliminate as much of the overspending or excess as you can until things start to level out. There's your energy with the Fool. We have Aries energy. So this is needing to take a leap of faith somewhere. This is stepping out of your comfort zone. It's a new beginning, being a free spirit, kind of an innocent time frame. The Fool is really somebody who's like young at heart, and he's somebody who's very adventurous, but he needs to kind of pay attention to his surroundings as well. So it can be something to kind of guide you to look before you leap and make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, but also to not just ignore a new opportunity, that you would want to investigate something. If there's like a new job offer that's coming in that you're a little hesitant to take, investigate it further. See like what's required of you, what is the pay scale, things like that. If it's something else like energetically where Spirit's guiding you to say, hey, we're going to step out of our comfort zone and we're going to try something new because this is what you're being guided to take. So there's definitely something full of possibilities and a new beginning. And it comes after an ending of toxicity. So the Devil is Capricorn energy that you could be dealing with. It's a lot of greed, controversy, violence, addictions, toxic relationships, codependency. You're feeling really trapped. And I know we've discussed that your roommate kind of makes you feel like that. So this could be something where this is needing to end so that this new opportunity can come into your life. But you already know that being around toxic people is something you don't want. So you're going to have to figure out a way to kind of end that, or to make some adjustments to where you feel better. And then I feel like things really do start to transform in your situation. Oop. All right, so 5 of Swords. There's been lots of confusion, lots of conflicts. Could have been an argument or a falling out with somebody. And this has been a lot of bullying or betrayal or confusion in this situation. And I feel like that you've really had to kind of try and think outside the box, or try and come up with new solutions on what to do to kind of fix this situation that you're in. But you are going to be successful, it looks like. Whatever changes that you're going to make, it looks like that's going to help you find the emotional fulfillment that you're looking for, and like realizing your dreams or triumphing over obstacles. The 9 of Cups is usually seen as a wish fulfillment and a lot of happiness. So like you realizing your dreams, just being a lot happier than maybe you currently are. All right, 8 of Coins in reverse. So somebody's not willing to put forth good work, or they could be rushing through something, maybe not paying attention to details on their work, and it's not great. So it can be changed, obviously, but you want to make sure that you're putting forth good quality work, and that your reputation is actually something that is a good thing. So you wouldn't want like one employer, let's say for an example, that you're leaving a job and you want to use this person as a reference. You'd want them to have a shining review for you or a good reference for you versus a negative one. So you want to make sure that you're putting forth good quality, that you're not rushing through things just to be done with it. And you want to make sure that, you know, you have a good reputation, especially where work is concerned. Okay, so King of Cups. This could be somebody in your life who's maybe a mentor, could be like a father figure or something, could be a partnership. It's somebody who is loyal, very trustworthy, full of wisdom, very generous with their time and energy. They're loyal. They're also very protective and an excellent listener. So this could be somebody in your life that's kind of helping you. And we have Justice. So you could be dealing with a Libra. You could be dealing with courts, contracts, legal issues. But this is telling you that justice is coming to kind of balance the scales. So it would bring equality, some sort of positive resolution to like a contract dispute, or something that you've had to involve the courts with. Things like that. Could also be dealing with a Libra. But this is telling you that it looks like things start to get balanced out, or that there is some sort of justice that's being served. All right, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. So this is normally an unexpected offer, like something that you don't see coming. Can be a love offer. It's not always the case. Sometimes it's like a job offer. But it's like a lot of boredom, a lot of lack of interest, feeling really restless, and you want to be more optimistic about this situation. All right, let's see what else we need to know what's going on. There's definitely something that you need to walk away from, some sort of relationship. Can be a friendship, can be work, can be a love interest, but this is something that you want to walk away from, or you need to walk away from, because things just aren't working. There's nothing else that can really be done about this situation. And in the card, it's a female walking away. So this could be like a woman that has maybe left your life, or it's something that maybe you're trying to walk away from a specific female in your life. Not always the case, but I'm going to tell you what I see in the cards. I feel like you really want to rush forward bravely towards someone else. I feel like you have a love offer that you want to make to somebody else, and that maybe there's something that the previous person kind of didn't want to invest, is what it looks like, or didn't have the time or the energy, and so things are kind of transitioning. And I feel like it is a transitional phase at the moment, that there's like an ending that needs to happen if it hasn't happened yet, or this is somebody that it has happened and that you're trying to go in a different direction, but you're trying to find your confidence in order to do so, is what it looks like. There will be a period of celebration. Some good news is coming. And this comes out with the Five of Coins with like lack mentality where money's concerned, or like job losses and things like that. So things are starting to shift for the better, and there will be a reason to celebrate. So like birthdays, anniversaries, celebrating good news, things like that. And that you're letting go of the backstabbing and the betrayal and all of the toxic cycles in your life, and you're ready for some sort of new beginning. So I really do feel like there is some sort of big ending in your life where there's been a lot of negativity, or again, backstabbing, deceit, things like that, where it just, there's no way to really fix it. So you know it's time to end it and finally change things and go forward in a new direction. And then I do feel like you have somebody that you want union with, or maybe this is coming in, but this is also with the Devil and the Five of Swords. So lots of confusion and toxic behavior. If this is like the current situation that you're dealing with the roommate, where it's toxic behavior in this situation, I would say some things definitely need to change, or they need to end and be transformed. If this is a love situation where you really want something that's solid and stable and positive, then you're going to have to make sure that you really kind of feel people out, and that you're not being deceived by anybody, or that it's not toxic, that there's no strings attached or anything like that. So take your time and get to know people. Don't rush into things. But I do feel like you see somebody that you want union with. The Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups is like your emotional fulfillment, marriage, children, like the whole 9 yards, like, you know, having your dream basically in your dream partnership. So it looks like you transition out of things that are really negative in a relationship into something that's a lot more positive. So that's excellent news. What else do we have going on? All right, so listening to your intuition. The High Priestess is all about listening to what Spirit is guiding you to do, listening to the voice of God, listening to your intuition, trusting your gut instincts, and she's really connected to Source. So this is something that I feel like you need to tap into, that energy that you really need to pay attention to, you know, whether it's dreams, whether it's synchronicities, especially like repeating numbers, that you want to pay attention to those things and really kind of see what it is that they're telling you, be able to decipher it. And I feel like the reason that it's coming out with the Eight of Coins in reverse is that there is that energetic blockage. And while I was getting ready today, they kept telling me blocked flow. And so a blocked flow of energy means that we can start to have issues with certain parts of our body as well. If the energy isn't flowing and it's blocked, think of like what do they call, like a dam, like a water dam, where the water's stopped up and it can't flow through because there's a blockage. So what we want to do is we want to break that blockage apart so that the energy starts to flow again like it's meant to. So really important that we start to listen to our intuition, and I think meditation is going to help you to be able to let the energy flow, kind of feel better emotionally and physically as well as mentally. And that it's going to be important for you to really tap in and connect spiritually to the higher realms. Meditation, deep breath work, all those things will definitely help you be able to do that. So then we have the possibility of travel. I feel like you're really looking towards your future. Maybe you've been thinking about taking a trip or possibly even relocating, things like that. But you're trying to make plans for your future. And I feel like it is towards this new love connection. So I feel like you're going to start to kind of tie up loose ends in your life and really either establish good boundaries with people so that they don't use you or walk all over you. And then I feel like that opens up the opportunity for somebody new to kind of come in your life. But take things slow. Don't rush things. Don't feel like, it has to happen overnight. And really kind of take your time. But you're starting to come up with a plan, it looks like, for your future, and you're starting to kind of envision what that's going to look like for you. So there's some sort of communication that either needs to happen or is in the process of happening or will happen in the future. The Eight of Wands, it moves very quickly. So this is quick moving energy. It could be like any form of communication, text, phone call, email, direct messages, letters in the mail. It's any kind of communication, even energetic or spiritually communicating, and it comes quick. So this is either 8 days or 8 weeks. That's how quick that information comes through. And we have the Seven of Wands. So I feel like you might be kind of retreating and going within kind of your inner protective bubble right now, and that you're working on cutting off the people that you don't want to deal with in life, and you're focused more on dealing with the people that you do want to be around their energy. So this is standing up for yourself, standing up for your beliefs and the things that are important to you, and making those goals a priority in your life. So that's going to be important as well. All right, let's see. What else do we have for the tarot? All in all, I think it's looking pretty good, but I would definitely say there's some things that you need to make adjustments on that aren't working in your life right now so that things do improve. All right, so Seven of Pentacles is really needing to not throw in the towel on something that's a dream or a goal just because you haven't seen it happen yet. So this is like investments coming to fruition or some sort of financial reward. Could be that you're frustrated with work, could be that you're frustrated with money, but there's definitely some frustrations around finances right now. And like I said, across the board, that's kind of globally right now. Most of us are frustrated with how expensive things are, how there's not near as much money to go around as there once was. So things like that could definitely be frustrating you. All right, and we have a lot of conflict and a lot of like clashing egos and confusion, and this card's come out once already as well. So I feel like you're really trying to kind of tune into what God wants for your life and letting go of the negative people, the negative situations, and even negative self-talk, like talking yourself out of something that you really want. But there's definitely been an argument or some sort of confusion, and I feel like you're kind of confused on what to do next. The advice is that you need to really end whatever this situation is, especially where there's toxicity, especially where there's backstabbing and betrayal, and that there's nothing that can really do to salvage this. And I think that's where you get your good news and your celebration, is letting go of these cycles that are just, it's not good for you, it's causing you stress and mental anguish and things like that, where it's not healthy. So it's time to let that go. Then you get a victory, you get some good news, you get some recognition, could possibly be like a raise or promotion at work, but it's like somebody is starting to notice all of the positive things. And it could be an employer or it could be other people in your life. But this is really something that could even the card usually says that it can reflect things like fame. So like maybe you'd be famous in your own little circle or famous in your job, or do you know what I'm saying? Like just kind of positive spotlight being shined on you is a good way of putting it. And we have the Four of Wands again, so definitely working towards a solid, stable union with somebody. And that comes out with the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So I really think you're looking towards your future, that maybe you finally have met somebody, or that you soon will, that you want a future with, that you want to settle down and maybe get married. And maybe there is an offer that needs to be made. It could be kind of unexpected, either for you or for this person, however it ends up playing out. But that I feel like it's something that maybe you do want to investigate. Maybe you want to indulge and see kind of where things go. And it's something that could take you by surprise. And I'm looking at this right now. So the back of this card looks like hieroglyphics to me. And that's funny because I have never thought that before when I looked at this card. But not that I could make them out or understand what they say, but in Supernatural, the TV show, which is what this deck is from, they were like, gosh, what did they call them? Not hieroglyphics, that's not what they referred to them as, but they were like signs and symbols from the divine. So you might be getting signs, symbols, synchronicity. Maybe you can read hieroglyphics. I know you said you were born in Egypt, things like that. Or it's like maybe even a different language, like a spiritual language is what's coming to mind. So maybe Spirit is kind of giving you downloads or symbols, or maybe you've prayed for specific signs. So look out for those things. I feel like that could definitely be important. And I feel like God's going to lead you to exactly where you need to be. And like the offer just kind of falls in your lap, or you're able to just kind of have things align, for a lack of a better word. What else do we have going on? All right, so money's definitely improving. I feel like a raise or promotion or even a job change could be coming. And this is typically seen as things improving greatly. So having more than enough to cover your expenses, having money left over to bless those less fortunate than you. So use your intuition when that happens and make wise decisions with your finances so that you are able to be financially stable and grounded, as well as be able to help those less fortunate should you need to or want to. And it helps you to overcome the money worries. I feel like you might have been really generous in the past, and that people may have also taken advantage of that as well. And so you're kind of starting to see what people are more worth your time and energy versus those who aren't. And so it's important that you start to have strong boundaries, and that you make sure, especially financially, that you don't just give to everybody, that you kind of decide whether it's worth it to you or whether it's not. And that still in a period of recovery is what I'm picking up. So whether that's physical recovery, injury, illness, surgery, things like that, or financial issues that you're still working through. But it does look like things start to improve with that. All right, Hierophant. So we have the Ten of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Hierophant. These all symbolize union and marriage. So I do think that in your future, you're going to be in a commitment with somebody. If you're currently single, that might be kind of a big stretch, but things can change. And I do think that that this person will take you by surprise is what I'm picking up. And I think it just clicks together is what they're telling me. It's like there's just this connection, and I think it surprises you, but I also think that it's something that's meant to happen in your life. So I do think this is part of your spiritual ascension or growth, and I do think that you and this person are a good fit for each other. So I think that that's very positive. I think you'll both want kind of similar things, and I think that it eventually does lead to at least a strong commitment if it's not marriage. But I do think that marriage is a possibility if that's something that you're looking for. And I think you guys would both be on like an even plane, so to speak, or that you would make a good match with each other. So all in all, it looks like there's some things that you do want to let go of, or that you do want to make adjustments, especially if there's toxic things going on in your life. You want to let go of people who are backstabbing you or betraying you, people who are like vindictive or violent, of anything like that. You want to let go of those things. Those aren't meant to go forward with you any longer. And most of the beginning cards we're talking about, it's time to let go of those things. And then financial issues start to improve. It looks like you get some sort of recognition or award for your hard work. So make sure you're doing quality work at your job, whatever you do for a living. And then it looks like things start to change in your romantic life, that there's some sort of new opportunity that's coming in. And I think it does kind of take you by surprise, but that you do see a future with this person. And if you're both on the same page about, commitment and marriage, that's definitely a possibility. So I'm going to clean these up and then I'm going to do your shadow work portion. All right, so I like to start with the shadow side of the deck first. That's what things that we've repressed, or things that maybe our subconscious mind, our unawake mind in our waking life, when we're awake and alert, it's like when we're dreaming, the part that processes all the information. So our subconscious in the shadow side kind of comes to the surface, so we can see the things that maybe we don't even realize are kind of holding us back, or things that maybe we need to work on, things that we need to heal. We have the Emperor, so this is Aries energy. So this is normally strategic moves, strategy, calculated risks, things like that. But when he's in the shadow side, sometimes it can be the opposite. It's like confusion, not really knowing what direction to take things, lack of planning, and things like that. So we want to make sure that we aren't operating in that side of things. So really thinking logically about things. The Emperor is the divine masculine, so that could be something that you resonate with if you feel like you're on the twin flame journey, things like that. But the Emperor is definitely somebody who, what's the right words that I want to use? That he really thinks about things logically before he acts. Like he has a plan of action before he actually does something. So think of it like a chess move, where it's really skill and kind of fine-tuning things and creating a plan before you actually act on whatever this is. So maybe you feel disorganized right now. Maybe you feel cluttered in your mind, or that things aren't clear to you of what your next move is. So take some time and kind of go back to the drawing board, so to speak, and check in with your higher self. And the reason I say that is because your next card is the High Priestess. And when she's in the shadow, it's really blockages mentally. You need to tap into source, and you really need to see what it is that they're guiding you to do. I feel like there's an energetic block. It could be mentally that you feel so clouded because of other things going on in your life, but I feel like you are able to unblock these things if you're willing to do the hard work that's required. And I feel like by doing that, that's what's going to open up these new opportunities for you, and that things start to kind of transform, or some sort of well-laid plan by the divine starts to come out. So let's see what else we have. All right, so needing some balance in the finances as well. So this would normally be very positive, but when it's in the shadow, it's telling you that you're still kind of in a lack mentality, or you feel like there's not enough to go around. So part of that might be reality currently, but part of that is also releasing the worry about, sorry, I get hiccups when I do long readings. That's also needing to trust that the divine always is our provider, and that our needs come from source. And so we have to ask for what we need, either through our mouth or through prayer or meditation, and ask the divine, ask God for what you need. God, I need a better paying job. God, I really need, my rent or my mortgage paid this month. And I don't know how those funds are going to come through, but God always provides. And so sometimes we just have to put our trust and faith and be willing to do the hard work on our end. And somehow they always seem to deliver. That's been my experience my whole life. So I would really start to trust that where you feel called to be is where you're supposed to be. So whatever that translates to, if it's a dead-end job that you hate going to, then look for new employment. If it's, your roommate situation, then figure out how you can make things tolerable until maybe your lease is up, and either move or look for a new roommate situation, something like that. But I feel like things can change, but we have to acknowledge what isn't working in order for that to happen. And there's something you're still holding on to that you really know is a heavy burden. It's been a lot of trauma, a lot of backstabbing, betrayal, negativity, and so that needs to really end. The Ten of Swords means it needs to be final. It needs to stick. It's got to go. It's got to end. lots of waiting. I feel like you've been waiting for a long time for these things to change and you still haven't quite seen things happen. I feel like that's due to either lack of planning or just not knowing what direction to go in. And you could be dealing with an authority figure who's pretty much a tyrant, somebody who's really hard to deal with, somebody who is very analytical or very emotionless. And they're telling me like this person feels dead inside. So not like physically dead, but just like shut down. Or maybe you kind of even feel that way sometimes if you're dealing with a lot of emotional blocks or energy blocks, that maybe you feel kind of defeated, depleted, run down, that you just don't feel well on the inside, especially emotionally. And that by doing the energy work, by doing the deep breathing exercises, meditation, things like that, that will start to change, that you won't feel that way. All right, the Four of Cups. So this would be a love offer typically coming in, or some type of offer. And I feel like you might reject that, or you're worried about rejection of that. And that comes out with the Six of Coins. So I feel like this has something to do with a job. Could have to do with the love situation, but I feel more strongly that it has to do with financial issues right now, that maybe you're worried about letting go of this heavy burden, even though you know you should, because of the financial constraints that it could have on you. King of Coins. I feel like the hard work is going to be worth it, that you're going to have to keep going on whatever this is that your goal is, that you really do want to let go of the things that are holding you back right now, but that you really need to stay focused on what your financial goals are. Like you're trying to build a solid empire financially, whether that's being able to leave money behind when you're no longer here, whether you're saving for retirement one day, whether you're trying to invest, maybe buy a home, things like that, but that it'll be worth it if you do the hard work, and it will require hard work, and it can take a long time. All right. So you think there's some sort of wish fulfillment that isn't going to happen. Almost like you have your heart set on something and then like the rug's pulled out from under you is what they're showing me. And you need to believe in miracles, and you also need to believe that things can change, but you also have to be willing to do the hard work for that to happen. Yep, the Magician. So this is doubting your abilities or having energetic blocks. The Magician is Aries energy. It's a new beginning. It's being able to manifest or create. You have all the tools at your disposal. You just have to use them. And so that's really important. I feel like you're trying super hard to manifest. I feel like you're trying super hard to welcome in positive things, but at the same time, something is blocking it, whether it's you unconsciously doubting your abilities, or whether this is other external forces around you that are kind of either sabotaging it, or that things just aren't happening in the time frame that you thought they would, but that you have the ability to change these things, but you have to believe in yourself and your abilities for your wish fulfillment to come in. Yeah, and you need to see things clearly for what they are. So don't get swindled by people. Don't get scammed by people. Make sure that you aren't viewing the situation with rose-colored glasses, meaning that everything's fine and, ignoring the problems or the issues at hand, that there needs to be balance. And that's a big key thing with the moon, is that there really needs to be balance. What else are they showing me with this card? They really want you to pay attention to your emotions right now. We're heading into eclipse season and Mercury in retrograde. So communication breakdowns could be an issue, miscommunication, not understanding things clearly. So really important that you're careful with how you say things, especially to people that you've had issues with, like authority figures or people that you've had problems with. And that you want to be cautious of how you communicate during Mercury in retrograde. I think it ends around May 12th or the 14th. So we would have like 3 weeks or something of crazy communication and not being able to do it effectively, and trying to find the balance in this situation. All right, so what is that? Six of Swords. There's definitely some conflict and chaos going on around you right now, and you need to be willing to kind of let that go or change the situation and move away from it. Again, still kind of in this situation, still kind of holding on to that energy, and it hasn't changed yet, but I feel like you're going to come up with some sort of well thought out plan in order to change that situation, and then you're going to be able to take action. So you want to gather your courage and your confidence in order to do so, and make sure that you have a well thought out plan in order to actually do it, and then it comes quickly. There's been some hesitation or lack of confidence so far. All right, again, more balance is needed. Things are definitely not aligned currently, and you're working on that. You're trying to kind of connect all the dots and trying to make a plan and listen to your intuition to kind of get away from all of the negativity. And you know you need to walk away from whatever this situation is, so it's really time to see it for what it is so that you can make some positive changes going forward. And then you need to pick a direction, and you need to make sure that it will work for you. You need to make sure that this is what you really want for your future before you act. Again, have a well-laid plan before you decide. And then think of what you want your future to look like, and don't think that it's impossible. You need to just kind of get all your ducks in a row and really come up with a plan of how to leave the toxic and chaos behind you. Okay, so the light side is the side that we show to the world. So this is how we kind of create the balance, or what the solutions might be to what is unseen with the shadow side. So let's see what else we need to know. Tell me about the Emperor and the High Priestess. All right, so 8 of Swords. Feeling really trapped in a situation, and like a mental prison is what they're giving me. So the energetic blocks with your third eye, feeling like you're not tapped in, like you're not connected, like you don't have a solution, you don't have a plan. You are able to change that. But again, it's listening to where Spirit is guiding you to be, listening to your intuition, your higher self, and trusting the knowledge that's within you. We're all connected to Source, but sometimes we ignore those little taps on the shoulder, or the, hey, don't do that, or the, hey, that's really what you want to be doing. So we have to learn to listen to those things. Queen of Wands, gathering your confidence and your courage is going to be really important, especially where your finances are concerned, and letting go of the backstabbing and betrayal. So like standing up for yourself, especially if you're being treated unfairly, or if there's been a lot of backstabbing and betrayal in your life, that you really want to have good, strong boundaries, but you also want to make sure that you're attracting the right type of give me the word, Spirit, the right kind of energy, but the right kind of, they're telling me audience, which is so weird. So normally the Queen of Wands is somebody who really commands a lot of respect, attention, curiosity. She's really passionate. She's somebody who is very inspirational, intellectual, things like that. So you want to kind of surround yourself with that good energy is what I'm picking up. So if you're currently surrounded by people who are toxic and no good for you, like make better choices on who you allow in your inner circle, like your close friends, things like that. And if they aren't great people, have some strong boundaries, or try and slowly eliminate your contact with these people is what else I'm picking up. All right, tell me about the 3 of Wands and King of Swords, 10 of Coins. Okay, so there's been a long wait in your life to gain some financial independence or stability. And I feel like you've dealt with a lot of delays, a lot of holdups. You've dealt with some really crummy authority figures or tyrants, maybe really bad bosses or relationships, or people who were, they weren't trustworthy. They were some really crummy people in your life, and that's going to change. But I feel like you had to experience some of these things to kind of learn some hard lessons, to really realize what not to do as opposed to what to do, or who you can trust versus who you can't trust. And so that was part of a learning experience. The good news is that the 10 of Coins is like a legacy of wealth, or coming into a sudden windfall of money, like winning the lottery, a big payout, an inheritance, things like that. That's generational wealth. So that could also be a possibility that you're coming into a lot of money. And the Empress, this comes out with the 4 of Cups and the King of Serpents. This is interesting. Okay, so I feel like there is an unexpected offer that either you're going to give to somebody or somebody could be giving you, and you see this person as your divine counterpart, or like your kingdom spouse, or the future mother of your children, or your future wife, things like that. So the Empress is the divine feminine. We also have the Emperor. So that tells me that you may have already met this person, and if you haven't, this person will come into your life at the right time. It's divine timing for a reason. I feel like you want to give this person the world, that you see something within them that is like magical is what they're giving me. And so you see this person as very caring, very empathetic, very nurturing, and that you almost put this person on a pedestal. So be cautious with that. Remember that we're all human. We all have flaws, things like that. But I do think that this person is somebody who is in some way going to help you. And I feel like this person is kind of everything you've been looking for lack of a better word. And that financially, I think this person could actually kind of either help give you some ideas. Like, okay, this is an example, not that this is what you're going to do, but like, let's say you had an idea to start your own business or something like that, that this would be the person that you would want to seek their advice or their wisdom because you really trust what their opinion is, things like that. But I think she's a really good energetic match. And it's interesting that she comes out with the King of Serpents, because the King of Coins is really somebody who's kind of got their financial stuff together. They're very grounded. They're somebody who's very business oriented, very independent, someone who's really financially set and stable. And so she kind of brings the emotional element to this mixture of the two of them. So we have like really solid, stable, grounded energy, could be an earth sign. And then we have all of the nurturing, empathetic energy coming through with the Empress. So interesting. Okay, tell me about the Stars and the Magician. We have the Seven of Wands. So you need to stick up for what it is that you really want out of life. You feel like your dreams aren't coming true, or your manifestations aren't happening, your wish fulfillments aren't coming. Stick up for what you want and defend those things, that it's going to be important for your growth. And it's also something that you don't want to back down from, maybe naysayers or people who think that it's impossible. If this is a dream of yours and you're willing to do the hard work in order to achieve these goals or these dreams or these manifestations, then don't let people tell you it's impossible, because anything's possible in the spiritual realm. Anything. Miracles happen all the time, and you'd be really surprised at how achievable some people's goals are if they're just willing to keep going after what's important to them. So don't give up on your dreams. Make sure that you see things for what they are and keep manifesting the life that you're looking for, and don't give up on your big goals or your big dreams, because I do think it's going to pay off for you. Okay, tell me about the Moon and the Six of Swords. All right, Page of Wands. This is flighty energy, so very in and out energy with a page. It's a little bit of like lack of maturity, things like that. So this could be like a younger person in your life. They tend to jump in head first to things and then kind of go, oops, later, and kind of have to deal with the consequences. So really finding balance and leaving the conflict and chaos behind you. And I feel like that part needs to really be something that needs to change quickly. So not that everything can happen quickly, but I feel like there's either some sort of news that kind of causes this to transform or change, and that it's important that you pay attention to letting go of what you know isn't working for you and finding solutions to resolve that. But that you also take the time to see things for what they are, so that you can let go of what doesn't work and try and find or restore the balance in your life. All right, tell me about the King of Wands and Temperance. All right, Eight of Wands. So some communication is going to happen. I feel like maybe you had to muster your courage in order to talk to this person or resolve these things, but that things are imbalanced right now, and so there needs to be a conversation had. This conversation needs to happen sooner rather than later, and that you need to really stick up for yourself and have strong boundaries, and that you need to try and find solutions to figure out the balance in this situation. then I feel like you get your happily ever after, that you finally start to get your emotional fulfillment or your emotional needs start to be met, and that things do start to transform. All right, 8 of Cups and 2 of Wands. Tell me about these. 5 of Wands. Okay, so there's something that we need to walk away from because it's kind of blocking what we need for our future. And there's been a lot of conflict, clashing egos, might be some competition as well. This could be work related, but I feel more like this has something to do with relationship type things. It could be friendships, can be family issues, romantic relationships, but there's something or someone that you need to walk away from because nothing else can be done about this situation. And you're looking towards your future, but there's a lot of either competition or conflict surrounding the planning needed or the being able to take that first step. The outcome is that there needs to be some big changes that need to happen to transpire. The Tower is about massive changes, upheaval, transformations, sudden shocking news, surprises, epiphanies, but that truthfully the Tower moment needs to happen. The big changes need to occur in order for this actually to work. So that you really do want to make sure that you're making changes so that you can transform what isn't working and rebuild from the rubble into something that's better for you. All right, final outcome. What does Ramy need to know? All right, 7 of Cups. You have lots of options to weigh, decisions to make. This can be in love. You might have a lot of options when it comes to romantic partners or romantic interests, or you feel like your romantic interest may have lots of options to choose from. And there is definitely a decision that needs to be made. So you want to choose this carefully, whatever that means to you, whether it's leaving a job, toxic situations, relationships, whatever. That there is definitely a crossroads that you're at. So you need to decide what you want your future to look like, remove any blinders that you have on about the situation, see things clearly for what they are, face the facts, face your fears, and make a decision on what direction you want to take things. And somebody is facing judgment. So karma, courts, legal action, contracts, but this is the only decision that can be made under the circumstances. So again, there's a decision that needs to be made or choices needing to be made. But this is a phoenix rising from the ashes. So this tells me that no matter what these changes are, that you can transform the situation into something better, that you can truly be reborn, or that you can kind of withstand the fire, so to speak, or the destruction of the tower, and that things can change for the better, that you can truly transform whatever it is that you're going through, and that things can actually turn around. So you may have to involve courts, contracts, legal stuff, police, things like that, but that it might be necessary if that's warranted, to kind of go forward. But whoever this is that is on the other side of the repercussions of this, that karma is going to deal with them, and that energetically speaking, you'll be able to survive this. But if somebody's doing like negative things or negative karma towards you, that they're going to get what's coming to them, that the divine is stepping in to change this. And 7 of Swords. Watch out for sneaky, underhanded people, liars, cheaters, manipulators, that there could be people who are trying to sabotage you, and it's time to take that leap of faith and start your new life, your new beginning. It's also Aries energy. So look before you leap, know what you're getting yourself into. Don't set yourself up for failure. Watch out for people who are trying to harm you, or people who mean you harm, either, financially, energetically, spiritually. Just watch out for those people and have strong boundaries. Then you start to find your balance again, and that things start to transform. Really pour into your own cup. Give yourself the things that you need, self-love, self-care, meditation, prayer, all those things to kind of keep our mind clear from especially energetic attacks, negative attacks, things like that. And that it's really important that you try and find some balance in your life, and that your wait is almost over, that some things are changing for your future, your ships are coming in, and that the wait is finally almost done. So it's like it's been a long time coming for these things to change, but it is starting to change. What is our final card for this reading? All right, Page of Serpents. and the stars. Interesting. So we have a wish fulfillment that's coming in divine timing, so don't lose hope that it is still possible. Could also be dealing with an Aquarius. Page of Coins. This is a lifelong learner. So this is some news coming in. Could involve a job. Could involve some things to do with like furthering your education or like study in some area. Maybe you're thinking of going back to school for something, or a new job could definitely require some sort of training or new knowledge. But there's some sort of wish fulfillment that's coming in that maybe you kind of gave up on or you lost hope on, but it's going to come for you when you least expect it. I feel like it happens after you close all these old chapters and you finally make a decision of what it is that you want that's going to bring you the change you're looking for. Be able to step out of your comfort zone and know that, you know, Spirit has your back, and that if you know you need to leave things behind and you make that effort, that things will start to change for the better. All in all, you have a lot of really good stuff coming in for you, but you also have some chapters that you need to work on closing out. Give yourself some time. Not everything happens quickly, but I really feel like meditation and things like that will help you to de-stress, be able to open up your third eye, open up your chakras, and be able to feel better. And speaking from personal experience, when I started meditating regularly a couple of years ago, it was a game changer for me. I went from being in constant pain all the time physically in my body, migraines, unable to eat, unable to sleep, horrible back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, things like that, to I still deal with some pain, but it's more manageable now without medications. And so it's also something that I feel like mentally you're really overworked, or you're really exhausted mentally, and that starts to manifest in ways in our body that causes illness and injuries and things like that. So rest is super important, eating good is super important, and not feeling so overwhelmed mentally and emotionally is going to be a huge game changer for you. So start to make some adjustments, do it slowly over time, and you will start to notice some things improve. So I hope that helps answer some of your questions. If you have any other questions, you can email me or, message me on TikTok or whatever. Hope it helps, Ramy. Take care. See you soon.